Good afternoon, Storm fans. Welcome to the second half of the DBL 2026 season. We are in what's called wild card play for us here in the bottom half of the standings. Today, here in Hünstetten, will be the Dortmund Wanderers facing the Hünstetten Storm for the opening of wildcard weekend. Apologies for not having any cameras at the moment. The heat is affecting what we have here. Hopefully, we'll have this settled soon. Action's about to get underway. Leading off for the Wanderers, it will be Tim Stolting, followed by Ivan Alba and Jorge Martin. These are the 1, 2, 3. First pitch to Alba is popped up behind home plate and just over the press box. Strike one. Morales' 1-2 pitch was high, according to home plate umpire. It's now 2 balls, 2 strikes. But reaching, swing and a miss. Out number 2. As Alba sits down, comes up the starting shortstop for the Wanderers, Jorge Martin. Right-hand shortstop getting into the batter's box. First pitch from Morales. In there. Strike one. Nice pitch by Morales. It is wild card play here in the DBL. Quickly, Martin is in the hole 0-2. Storm hosting opening game of this wild card weekend. They'll be traveling to Dortmund for game 2 tomorrow. Morales' 0-2 pitch is outside, ball 1. This is the start of, I believe, 6 weekends of wildcard play throughout the DBL, including interleague play. Swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts and a ground out makes efficient work to start the game. Going into the middle of the first inning, still scoreless. Normally I would pause here, but I'm going to go ahead and give you the lineups since wasn't able to do that earlier. Start with the visitors from Dortmund. The lineup goes as follows. Starting right fielder and leading off, number 30, Tim Stolting. Batting second and catcher for this afternoon, number 40, Ivan Alba. Batting third and playing shortstop, number 50, Jorge Martin. Batting cleanup, left field, number 8, Dexter Stober. Batting fifth, the second baseman, number 85, Sascha Schubert. He's followed by the third baseman, number 23, Kilian Lure. DH this afternoon, batting seventh, number 73, Nieder Latvia. Latifi, I'm being corrected. That's a very interesting name. Batting eighth and playing first base, number 21, Vincent Siska. And batting ninth, the center fielder, number 5, Thorben Krolup. Pitcher for this afternoon for the Dortmund Wanderers will be number 6, Tom Adler. And now yours, Hünstetten Storm starting lineup. Batting leadoff, playing center field, number 19, Diego Mendoza. Batting second, playing third base, number 2, Jake McKenzie. Batting third, playing shortstop, number 8, Augustine Teixeira. Batting cleanup, playing second base, number 99, Daniel Martins. Catcher for this afternoon, number 22, Douglas Yoakum. Batting sixth, starting first baseman, number 18, Tobias Glimmerud. Left fielder, number 31, Phil Meyer. Designated hitter for this afternoon will be number 8, Kalen Merrim. And playing right field, number 42, Javier Montero. As I said earlier, number 12, the starting pitcher is Sebastian Morales. We are about to get underway here. For the bottom of the first inning, Adler is on the bump for the Wanderers. And digging into the left-handed batter's box, our center fielder, Diego Mendoza. First pitch, Mendoza is right down the center of the plate for strike one. But the next pitch does not catch. It is ball one. Ball two. Inside, ball three. 3 balls, 1 strike to the leadoff batter, Mendoza. And after starting Diego Mendoza off with a called strike, his 4 straight balls puts the leadoff batter on for this afternoon. And that brings up our third baseman, number 2, Jake McKenzie. Time is called as all of Diego Mendoza's accoutrement is given to Bruce Carson at first base. Now his play is resumed. McKenzie with bunt showing and Mendoza trotting off of first base, but ball was high and inside, so everyone resets. But the next pitch from Adler is in there for a called strike. Nice pitch from Adler on the inside, strike 2. It is a chopper just underneath the second baseman's glove. Mendoza goes from first to third. It is a single from Jake McKenzie up the middle, puts runners at the corners, no outs. Coming up to bat now, our starting shortstop, number 8, Agustin Teixeira. Storm wearing their white on white for this afternoon, while the Wanderers are wearing black on gray. It is a hot one here in Hünstetten. About 37 degrees Celsius. It's quite a hot afternoon. Ball slips out of the hands of Adler. It is a wild pitch as Mendoza is able to walk home for the first run of the game, and Jake McKenzie is able to make it to second. It was clear that the ball slipped out of Adler's hands. Thankfully, Teixeira wasn't hit. Adler has come set. McKenzie is off of second base and the pitch to Teixeira is in there for a called strike. Teixeira takes a little walk out of the batter's box to recompose himself after that call. Adler with check back at McKenzie, who is dancing off a second. The 1-1 pitch way outside, ball 2. Adler's pitch was low and outside in the left-handed batter's box, just caught by Alba. I think Alba stretched as far as he could to catch that ball. McKenzie still off of second base, pretty much in the shortstop position. He's going. Throw is high. Jake McKenzie is able to walk home on a ball that was thrown into left field. Storm lead 2-0. 2 balls. 2 balls, 1 strike to Agustin Teixeira. Adler looking in now. Bases are empty. High kick, pitch inside. That is ball 4. Sorry, that was... No, that it was ball 3. Teixeira thought that was ball 4. I said it was ball 2 earlier. Everyone's losing count, but I guess the heat is playing on everyone's mind at the moment. It is a warm afternoon here in Hünstetten. But baseball is a spring and summer sport. Baseball players are not called the boys of summer for nothing. Those of you who are tuning in live on Storm TV, I welcome you this afternoon. There's ball 4. Teixeira confirming it with home plate umpire. Coming up to bat now is our second baseman, number 99, Daniel Martins. Those of you who are tuning in live and expecting to see the action, I'm sorry for that. We're having some camera issues, trying to get everything taken care of. But if you're able to hear me, I would like to see you leave a comment, as comments are open. First pitch to Martins in there for a called strike. On deck is Douglas Yoakum. Oh, the next pitch gets Martins between the nines. He's all right, takes his base. Home plate umpire slowly walks out and tosses the ball to Adler as Yoakum fetches the pitch that deflected off of Martins' shoulders. Ball has been given back to home plate umpire, and stepping into the right-handed batter's box is our starting catcher, number 22, Douglas Yoakum. On deck is Tobias Glimmerud. First pitch of Yoakum, he tried to hold up on his swing, but home plate umpire says he went around for a called swinging strike 1. Runners taking their steps off of first base. Adler taking a look back at second. High. Ball 1 to Yoakum. Runners are not taking much of a lead. Adler's pitch swung on and missed. Strike 2. Adler watching. Oh. Adler took a quick look back at second base and then fired home. Home plate umpire rings up Douglas Yoakum looking for the first out of the inning. We're going old school, trying to do a radio broadcast since we don't have picture at the moment. So thank you for tuning in to listen. Stepping into the left-handed batter's box now is our first baseman, Tobias Glimmerud. First pitch to Glimmerud is a ball low. On the return throw from the catcher, the ball gets completely missed by Adler, which allows Teixeira to take third base on the non-catch by Adler. Runners at the corners, 1 out. Called strike on the outside. That was a good pitch by Adler. Watch that one come directly in. Adler taking a long look in. Runners not really off their bases. Pitch. Foul tip. Strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Tobias Glimmerud. On deck is Phil Meyer. Adler's pitch, high outside. A little bit of a pitch out. I think they were trying to see if Daniel Martins was going to run off of first base. It is a 2-2 count now on our first baseman. Runners taking a short step. Martins is going, and he is safe. That is a stolen base for Danny Martins. Little miscue by the shortstop and second baseman. I think We have guys that are playing out of position, their normal positions this afternoon. Ball was caught by the shortstop, but when he went to make the tag on Martins, he was blocked by his own second baseman who was coming in to make the catch. So now with runners in scoring position, 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's a foul tip. Just slowly rolls away from home plate. Glimmerud stays it live and keeps the at-bat going. As I said, it's a warm one this afternoon. 37 degrees, first pitch. Wind is blowing out, going right down the third base line. Saw some home runs hit during batting practice. Adler taking a long look in. Whoa. That was high and outside. Glimmerud tossed his bat thinking that was a walk, but home plate umpire rang him up looking and then stood there staring at him. That was okay. Unfortunately, we don't have video to show you later, but that was not in the strike zone. Now to bat, number 31, starting left fielder this afternoon, Phil Meyer. First pitch of Meyer, low and inside, called a strike. Meyer's able to get on base. It looks like it's Colin Miram. The DH is up. Meyer gives it a ride and missed at the gate. 1 run is in, 2 run is in. Phil is in there with a stand-up 2-out triple. Phil Meyer showing a little power, catching that wind that I was just talking about. It is a 2-out, 2 RBI stand-up triple for Phil Meyer. Great job hitting. Ball just carried. Left fielder was chasing that ball, almost made the catch, but almost doesn't count. First pitch to Colin Miram, inside, ball 1. Colin Miram wearing 38 this afternoon instead of his normal 18. Ball 2. Meyer talking to his third base coach. Ball gets away. Actually, no. Hit by a pitch, home plate umpire says. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. Brings up Javier Montero after that hit by pitch. Kind of surprised to everyone, except for the home plate umpire, who's the one who said it was a hit by a pitch. To me, it looked like it was off the catcher's glove and in toward the backstop, but home plate umpire called stop to play, saying that no, he was hit by it. First pitch, Montero, high and inside, ball 1. Montero is one of those I actually saw hitting the ball well during batting practice. 1 ball, 1 strike count as he looked at the ball, caught the outside corner. Runners not creeping too far off their respective bases with 2 outs. Inside, ball 2. Montero, who's normally a pitcher for us, does also play the field, and he will be playing right field for us today. Runner going, and is a hit and run, but the ball is fouled into the golden wheat field. It's off to the visitors' dugout side of Dickman Field. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on for number 42. Pitch from Adler. That's up. Ball 3. Full count now for Montero. I want to welcome those of you who are tuning in. Yes, we're aware there's no camera, so we are having a radio broadcast. Hit and run still on again. Unfortunately, ball goes long ways down the foul line and out of play. Runners reset. Yep. Sorry for not having cameras. We're having some camera difficulties thanks to the heat. We're going to hopefully have that back up and running here shortly. Runners are going in. Hit and run is working. Long throw over, and just gets Montero before he steps on the bag. That was closer than it should have been. So after one, Storm now lead 4-0. Going into the top of the second, Storm leading 4-0. It will be Dexter Stobia, Sasha Schubert, and Killian Lauer. That's the 1-2-3 for the Wanderers this afternoon. This is the start of wildcard play in the DBL. The bottom three teams in the standings are playing wildcard to keep playing, while the top teams will be playing some interleague, as it's called. But this weekend is wildcard play. Morales getting his warm-up tosses in as everyone is getting ready to start the second inning. Ball's being tossed around the infield. That brings up number 8, the starting left fielder for the Dortmund Wanderers, right-hander Dexter Stober. Home plate umpire reminding both benches to close their respective gates. Sebastian Morales is toeing the rubber in the first pitch of the second inning. High and inside, ball 1. On deck is Sasha Schubert. I will apologize in advance if we lose broadcast here in just a moment, as we're going to try something with the cameras. Pitch is in there for a called strike. 1-1 is the count. Sebastian Morales' 1-1 pitch is skied high, lifted over the head of the outfield. Diego Mendoza is able to get the ball in, holds Stober to a leadoff double. Ball was just over the head of Phil Meyer, who tried to make an adjustment, but the ball's carried all the way to the fence. Like I said, the wind is carrying out in that direction, so it could be interesting for the outfielders when any ball is up in the air. Now with a runner on second, up to bat now is Sasha Schubert. First pitch of Schubert, high and outside, ball 1. Not where Joachim was wanting the pitch, not where Morales was wanting to throw the pitch. I think the ball slipped out of his fingers. Next pitch is hit up the middle, fielded by Martins at second, throws over to Glimmerud for out number 1. Moves the runner over. 1 out. Runner at third base in the form of Stobia brings up to bat the starting third baseman, number 23, Killian Loyer. Lua wearing 44 this afternoon. It's a different number than what he wore last time he was here. First pitch Delora is in there for a called strike as the wind is picking up. Runner at third, not really taking a lead off the base. Swing and a miss, strike two. Sebastian Morales has that long look into Douglas Yoakum. Yoakum set up right down the middle. Up around the ears. That ball had movement. And it got the wind actually pushed that one up and in, but it is a ball. Yoakum still set up right down the middle. Pitch from Morales. High and outside. Ball two. As I said, we're trying to get the cameras working. Be patient with us. Ball inside. 3 balls. 1 strike to Loya. Not even waiting for the ball call as he takes his base. So that is a 1-out walk. Puts runners at the corners. Coming up to bat now is the DH, Latvia. I'll be corrected here shortly, I'm sure. The big right-handed DH is in the batter's box, waiting for the first pitch. And Morales throws right down the heart of the plate. Strike one. Runners taking about a 1-step lead off the bag as the big designated hitter. Oh, pickoff. Oh, and Morales air mails the ball into center field. Runner from third comes across. And the runner from first comes all the way around to third. They had the pickoff set. Unfortunately, Morales threw the ball over the head of his shortstop in second baseman. Now with a runner only at third base, swing and a miss, strike two. Definitely not what Morales was wanting to do there, but nothing can be done about it. Ball low and outside. Makes it 1-2. But Morales is able to follow that up with a fastball down the heart of the plate for a called strike strike three looking. Makes it 2 outs. Coming up to bat now is number 21, the starting first baseman, Vincent Siska. First pitch, Siska just misses zone. Ball one. We're trying our best here with the cameras, so thank you for sticking with us. Quickly, it is 2 balls, no strikes to Siska. On deck, if Siska is able to get on base, will be the center fielder, Thorben Krolup. Ball 3. Sebastian Morales unable to find the strike zone. And that is a 4-pitch walk issued to Siska and brings up to bat the center fielder, number 5, Thorben Krolup. Thorben Krolup, the center fielder, stepping into the right-handed batter's box now. First pitch from Morales inside, ball 1. Outside ball 2. Morales, who was having some great command earlier, not sure what's going on now. Ball is just either slipping out of his fingers or he's over gripping, trying to make sure it doesn't slip, which that is quite common when it is as hot as it is. Oh, that looked good, but home plate umpire says no, that's ball 3. On deck is the top of the order in the form of Stolting. Inside ball 4. It brings out Bill Dickman to go and talk to his starting pitcher. 8 straight balls, though one of those did look like it was over the plate. Not one of those we can actually replay, review, or whatever. So during this break in the action, as we have a little mound visit, we are back with our cameras. Hopefully the feeds are sorry about that. We lost audio as we are changing some things with the with our camera and everything and other setup. That way we actually have every better quality. With bases loaded, the first pitch to Stolting gets away from Yoakum as Morales' pitch was spiked in the dirt in front of home plate. But the runners don't advance. I am puzzled by that. Lawyer at third base did not move. I don't know if he couldn't see where the ball was or what. Home plate umpire is stopping action here as a water break is being issued for our starting pitcher, Morales. It is warm, like I said. First pitch temperature was around 37 degrees Celsius. And it's now 38. Morales is allowed some water. Now with bases loaded, 1 ball the count on Stolting. Pitch just missing the outside, ball 2. No place to put Stolting. Wow, okay. Pitch over the heart of the plate, not called a ball. Now 3 balls, no strikes by the home plate umpire. That pitch was called a strike, same place as the last one. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, bases loaded here in the bottom of the top of the second inning. Three-one pitch, called a strike, so it's now a full count. Morales has come set. 3-2 pitch. Oh, wow. That was just an incredible curveball for out number 3. Going into the middle of the second, Storm leading 4-1. Going into the bottom of the second inning, Storm leading 4-1. It's a warm one. Storm leading 4-1. Sorry about that. It will be the top of the order for the Hünstetten Storm. Mendoza, McKenzie, and Tishara, the 1, 2, 3 here in the home half of the second inning. Adler has his warm-up tosses, and in the batter's box is our center fielder, Diego Mendoza. He's first pitch swinging, and it is a ball taken off the chest of the second baseman, and Mendoza's able to leg it out for an infield single. It was a hop taken directly off the chest of the second baseman. And just like the game started off, no outs. Mendoza at first. Coming up to bat now is our starting third baseman, Jake McKenzie. Mendoza skipping off of first base. Adler's pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike one. McKenzie with a big rip. Just does not connect. Adler with a balk called by home plate umpire sends Mendoza to second base. Adler's looking at, what did I do? Third base umpire told him, well, you shimmied just a little too much, sir. With Mendoza at second, the pitch is a bunt. Bunt laid down perfectly. Adler fields and fires. Oh, first baseman's not able to stretch. Ball gets away, goes down the line on Adler's throw. Mendoza comes around the score, makes it 5-1 as Jake McKenzie makes his way to second base on the errant throw. Runner at second base brings up our starting shortstop, Augustine Teixeira. McKenzie taking another long walk off of second base. Adler checks back with him. The pitch to Teixeira on its way. Nice pitch by Adler. Strike one. Wind is picking up, but it's not as strong as it was. But let's see if Teixeira can make use of it. Inside, no throw as McKenzie was stealing on first movement. His white uniform now nice and dirty. Head first slide, but no throw by the catcher. I don't think the catcher even saw that McKenzie was stealing the base until it was too late. Adler's 1-1 pitch is fouled back to the backstop for strike two. On deck is Danny Martins. And Teixeira hits one into shallow right field. McKenzie walks home, makes it 6-1 Storm. Augustine Teixeira continuing that nice batting average that he has had all season, continuing it into the wild card. Still no outs. Runner at first base brings up Danny Martins. On deck is Tobias Glimmerud. Douglas Yoakum. In the hole is Tobias Glimmerud. Martin's first pitch swinging high, sky high pop up. Playable for the right fielder who hits him off the top of his head. Poor Stolting. I feel bad for him. He read that the entire way, and it is bright and sunny here today. Lost it right at the end, and it bounced off his head, or maybe the bill of his hat. Sky high. That's why you run. Danny Martins is at first base. 2 on, no out. Up to bat is number 22, Douglas Yoakum. First pitch to Yoakum is inside, ball one. Again, thank you to everyone tuning in live on Storm TV. Thank you for sticking with us while we had no cameras. If you have any questions, anything you want to say to us, please feel free. Say it in the chat. Yoakum skies a pop-up right behind first base. Missed by the second baseman. It is a fair ball, according to the first base umpire. And Teixeira is able to come around to score from second base, makes it 7-1. As the pop-up was not that high, but it did hit off the chest of the second baseman as he ran in to get it, and it was in fair territory. Runners did not advance too far, but Teixeira has come around to score. Up to bat now is Tobias Glimmerud. Glimmerud, first pitch swinging, hits it into shallow left field. Martins comes around and scores from second. Both runners try to advance. Glimmerud is out at third, which is I don't believe the home plate the first base umpire actually was paying attention to that, but Glimmerud doesn't care. He has he's collected all the equipment to trot back to the dugout. But Douglas Yoakum is able to make it all the way to third base. With one out, runner at third brings up Phil Meyer. Meyer, first pitch swinging off the shortstop into shallow center field, brings home Yoakum. Phil Meyer with another RBI. He's feeling good today. Glad to have him back swinging the bat. Water break being called for the starting pitcher. Take this opportunity with the water break. Killian Marum will be the next batter for Storm. In the on-deck circle is Javier Montero. It is a scorcher, but it's summer. The boys of summer are playing wildcard baseball here in Hünstetten. Gotta love it. Even with the heat, there are fans here at Dickman Field. I think every place that has some type of shade is full of fans enjoying this early high-scoring action from the Hünstetten Storm. So the water break is over now. Play called in the right-handed batter's box is Kaylin Murphy. Kaylin Merrim, first pitch swinging. It is a fielder's choice as the second baseman throws to get the lead runner, Phil Meyer, out. So Marum at first, 2 outs in the inning. Brings up the bat our right fielder, Javier Montero. First pitch to Montero inside, called a strike by the home plate umpire. Wind picking up, blowing out to right field. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Montero quickly in the hole as he swung at a pitch that was high and outside. Ball inside, almost caught him in the pocket. Marum not taking a big lead off of first, but he is dancing a bit. The 1-2 pitch. Hit and drops in front of the center fielder. Marum thought about stopping at second, but saw that he was clear for third. Makes it in sliding. This 2-out single from Montero puts runners at the corners and brings us back to the top of the lineup. in the form of Diego Mendoza. Left-hand Mendoza digging in, getting ready for the pitch from Adler. First pitch swing, very aggressive gameplay. Fielded by the center fielder on a bounce. It is an RBI single. Brings up Jake McKenzie. As I've mentioned in previous games, going after that first pitch, being aggressive can sometimes pay off. And it's paying off well right now as Storm is leading 9-1 here in the bottom of the second inning. McKenzie again, first pitch swinging, high pop-up, playable for the right fielder, and he makes the catch to end the inning. But Storm put a nice crooked number up on the board this time. 5 runs. Takes us to the top of the third, leading 9-1. Going into the top of the third inning, Storm leading 10-1. It's still a scorcher, temperature-wise, and on the base path. Sweat is a problem for both teams as getting grip on the ball is not very easy when you can't really dry your hands off, but that's what happens when the temperature is hovering close to 39 degrees Celsius. On the field, I'm guessing it's probably over 40. It will be Alba, Martin, and Stoiber for the Wanderers. First pitch of the third inning. Nails right in the dirt, right at home plate, and thankfully Yoakum isn't injured by the ball skipping into him. The 1-0 pitch is driven right up the center for a leadoff single. And with that leadoff single from Alba, brings up the starting shortstop, Jorge Martin. Martin stepping into that right-handed batter's box. Ooh, pitch from Morales, not called a strike. Not sure what was wrong with that pitch, but regardless, ball one. Swinging, fielded fired, double play. Danny Martins fielded the ball and it went up and out of his glove, almost in a ramping action, but he stayed with it, called it, flipped it over to Teixeira, who was covering second, who fires over to Glimmerud to complete a very nice double play. So now with 2 outs, the starting left fielder, number 8, Dexter Stober. And it is a weak chopper, misplayed by Morales. Picks it up, fires over, and is able to get out number 3 right before Stober stepped on the bag. That was closer than it should have been, but that was actually a nice sequence. Going into the middle third, Storm leading 10-1. Going into the bottom of the third inning, Storm still leading 10-0. Umpires giving a water break to both teams as temperatures here are very, very warm. I hope everyone who is tuning in live on Storm TV are finding a way to stay cool. It is a scorching start to summer here in Germany. I know it is hotter in other places. I did hear that in Spain and also in France, they are seeing temperatures hotter than actually in northern Africa right now. I think Egypt is cooler than France at the moment. But here in our area of Germany, we have summer temperatures. Game time was 37. It's getting a little warmer. It'll probably hit 40 before the game is over. Warm-up tosses have been made as Wanderer pitcher Tom Adler steps on the pitching rubber, getting ready to face Augustin Teixeira. It'll be Teixeira, Martins, and Yoakum. First pitch to Teixeira is a weak foul ball that goes down the first base line. Strike one. Adler looking in, has his pitch, leg kick, fires. Chopper foul down the third base line. Strike two for Teixeira. pause in action as the foul ball had to be recovered and removed from play. Play is resumed. The 0-2 pitch. It is swung on and hit out of play into the wheat field. Keeps the at-bat going. No little ones running after the balls this afternoon. I'm sure they've been told by the parents, no, it's too hot to go running off into the wheat field looking for foul balls. I don't blame them. Fourth pitch of the at-bat is into the wheat field. Still no balls, 2 strikes to start the third inning. Well, someone's going to retrieve those last 2 balls that were hit. Swing and a miss. Strikeout to start the third inning. Tashara swinging a ball that was just about eye level. With 1 out, brings up our second baseman, number 99, Daniel Martins. One of the foul balls has been retrieved. I see that. First pitch to Martins, high, ball 1. Right over the plate. 1-1 count now to Danny. Again, thank you to everyone tuning in live on Storm TV. It is a hot one this afternoon. Oh, Adler. Good thing there wasn't anyone on base, as that would have been a balk. But I feel bad for Adler. I don't know if his spike caught or what, but he awkwardly dropped the ball. Whoa! I'll give a blue star to Adler on that one. That was a comebacker directly to him from Danny Martins. Danny even waving to Adler as that was, I'm glad he caught the ball, because if it would have caught leather, it was catching jersey, and that would not have been pretty. Now with 2 outs, up to bat now, Douglas Yoakum. Yoakum first pitch swinging, and it is a weak pop-up to the first baseman to end the inning. First inning that the Wanderers were able to get Storm to go 1-2-3. So after 3, Storm 10, Wanderers 1.